Our generation must choose. Which do we value more, short-term profits or the long-term habitability of our planetary home? The world is divided politically, but ecologically it is tightly interwoven. There are no useless threads in the fabric of the ecosystem. If you cut any one of them, you will unravel many others. We have uncovered other worlds with choking atmospheres and deadly surfaces. Shall we then recreate these hells on Earth? We have encountered desolate moons and barren asteroids. Shall we then scar and crater this blue-green world in their likeness? Natural catastrophes are rare, but they come often enough. We need not force the hand of nature. If we ruin the Earth, there is no place else to go. This is not a disposable world, and we are not yet able to re-engineer other planets. The cruelest desert on Earth is far more hospitable than any place on Mars. The bright sandy surface and dusty atmosphere of Mars reflect enough sunlight back to space to cool the planet, freezing out all its water, locking it in a perpetual ice age. Human activities brighten our landscape and our atmosphere. Might this ultimately make an ice age here? At the same time, we are releasing vast quantities of carbon dioxide, increasing the greenhouse effect. The Earth need not resemble Venus very closely for it to become barren and lifeless. It may not take much to destabilize the Earth's climate, to convert this heaven, our only home in the cosmos, into a kind of hell. The study of the global climate, the sun's influence, the comparison of the Earth with other worlds, these are subjects in their earliest stages of development. They are funded poorly and grudgingly. And meanwhile, we continue to load the Earth's atmosphere with materials about whose long-term influence we are almost entirely ignorant. There are worlds that began with as much apparent promise as Earth, but something went wrong. Knowing that worlds can die alerts us to our danger. If a visitor arrived from another world, what account would we give of our stewardship of the planet Earth? In the history of the solar system, have worlds ever been destroyed? Most of the moons in the outer solar system have craters on them made by cometary impacts. Some have such large craters, though, that if the impacting comets had been just a little bit bigger, the moons would have been shattered. What would the results of such a collision look like? Maybe a planetary ring. The idea has been growing that little worlds are every now and then demolished by a cometary impact. The fragments then slowly coalesce and a moon arises again from its own ashes. Some moons may have been destroyed and reconstituted many times. For our own world, the peril is more subtle. Since this series was first broadcast, the dangers of the increasing greenhouse effect have become much more clear. We burn fossil fuels like coal and gas and petroleum, putting more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere and thereby heating the Earth. The hellish conditions on Venus are a reminder that this is serious business. Computer models that successfully explain the climates of other planets predict the deaths of forests, parched croplands, the flooding of coastal cities, environmental refugees, widespread disasters in the next century, unless we change our ways. What do we have to do? 4 things. 1, much more efficient use of fossil fuels. Why not cars that get 70 miles a gallon instead of 25? 2, research and development on safe alternative energy sources, especially solar power. 3, reforestation on a grand scale. And 4, helping to bring the billion poorest people on the planet to self-sufficiency, which is the key step in curbing world population growth. Every one of these steps makes sense apart from greenhouse warming. Now, no one has proposed that the trouble with Venus is that there once was Venusians who drove fuel-inefficient cars, but our nearest neighbor, nevertheless, is a stark warning on the possible fate of an Earth-like world.